Good evening. Welcome to another edition of Mi Gente on Air. I want to invite everybody to come into the chat room because we got a great show for you tonight. It's a live stream, and I got a special guest for all of you today in the Mi Gente on Air world. It's Jesse Turner from the group Signo, who's going to be performing at the Soaring Eagle Casino on May the 3rd, 2025. And so we're really excited to have Tejano royalty in the house. He's celebrating 25 years in the business. And we got a treat coming up for us on May the 3rd with Los Palominos. So come on into the room. If you've got a question or a concern or you just want to make a comment, feel free to do so because Mi Gente on Air is your show as well. Latinos in the Michigan area, we have been blessed these last few years with a lot of Tejano artists coming this way. And we are a Tejano town. So let's celebrate that here on Mi Gente on Air.
Welcome to Mi Gente on Air on 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW and online WSGW.com. Now, here is your host, Larry Rodarte.
Good evening. Good evening. Welcome to Mi Gente on Air. You are hearing the sounds of the great group Signo, and we're going into Cinco de Mayo. It's less than 3 weeks away. By the time this show airs on radio, it's going to be 2 weeks. And so we're going to talk everything about Cinco de Mayo, but we have a great guest in the room tonight. He is Tejano royalty. I like to say that all the time whenever we have a big name artist from Texas. And the artist that we have today, for all my listeners out there in Mi Gente on Air world, it's Jesse Turner, everybody. So welcome, Jesse Turner of Signo, to Mi Gente on Air. How are you, Jesse?
I'm doing good, Larry. Saludos to you and to all the people that are connected on this beautiful day. I hope to find everybody in great spirits. Saludos desde el mágico Valle de Texas from the Rio Grande Valley. To be specific, I live in the city of Harlingen, Texas, but I was born and raised in Harlingen, but I was raised in the city of Santa Rosa, Texas, which is a very small community. But within that community, other legends have come out of there. One is Jesse Serrata, and the other one is Ruben Vela, which who gave me the opportunity to be who I am today. So I'm always grateful for that. I actually got to play in Michigan many times with Ruben Vela, and we're celebrating 25 years of Grupo Signo. It's been 25 years, and I can't believe it.
Yeah, I can't believe it either. It doesn't seem that long. But, I want to tell you that there's so many up here in the Michigan area, especially in Saginaw. We are third, fourth generation Tejanos because our parents came here before the fields, work in the fields, and then stayed because of the General Motors plants and have made their American dream life here in the Michigan area. But we all have those ties to Texas, and mine is Brownsville, Texas. My grandma was from
Brownsville,
Brownsville.
Texas.
Yeah, so I'm familiar with, and my good friend Lupe Zamora, he is out there. He's a snowbird, and he's out in Harlingen actually for the whole
Oh,
winter.
wow.
He still hasn't come back yet, but he's part of the Unión Cívica Mexicana, which is the organization that is helping the Soaring Eagle bring Signo and Los Palominos to the Soaring Eagle May 3rd. So
That is so awesome. We just did Sombrero Fest where we had about anywhere from 15 to 10,000 people around that bar range for the Sombrero Fest, the famous Brownsville Sombrero Fest, and we're very excited to be headed down your way. It's been a while that we even enter Michigan, and the normal for Signo is we always do 3 days, like which is we always do Michigan. Waukegan, Illinois, and then we travel somewhere else. It's always been like that. So we never have a chance to actually stay, but I know we're leaving early. I know we're gonna get to hang out and going to the Soaring Eagle. When you asked me off air, hey, do you remember being here? I was like, no, I don't remember because we have been to so many places. But the minute you said you were here with Michael Salgado, I'm like, that was one of the it's the very first casino we ever played at in the history of Signo.
wow, really? Wow. And
Yeah,
I
so
think I
so
believe it was 11 years ago actually.
Yeah, so going back to it is it's something, that is part of our 25-year journey. It feels like a great accomplishment to be able to go back. And I just want to let everybody know up in that area to get your tickets as soon as possible. Make plans to be with us. If you're coming from out of state, or from a different city out of Saginaw, pues la gran invitación, the invitation for each and every single one of you. What does Signo have to offer this at this show compared to the one many years ago? Well, for one, was where I think we're a little bit more mature in the sense of our
Mhm.
music is more solid. We've had a hit after hit, gracias a Dios. We've had songs that we didn't get to perform 11 years ago. We didn't get to do Mama. We didn't get to do a lot of songs. Ya no me importa. I mean, it's. I don't believe that we did those songs. And today, I'm able to, we're able to provide this, not provide, but we're offering everybody a once in a lifetime experience, which is um, only every 5 years. I plan to do this, and this is the first year that we're doing it. We tried doing it in 2020, where we made our whole stage look like a prison. And the reason we had it staged like that was because it started with the video of Ya no me importa, and we actually shot that music video in a live prison. So when
Uh,
we shot it, I said, you know what, let's do the stage, and let's pretend like the warden is going to let us come out and sing one song on the yard, so the stage looks like the prison yard, and then we're going to escape. And when we escape, we go and we change clothes, and we come out and we come dressed as the way Signal started, with the cowboy hats and the Wranglers. And then we escape one more time because we're still on the go, we're still on the chase, and
mhm.
they're trying to capture us. But then all of a sudden we become rockers, and we're hiding underneath all these identities. But at the end of the day, we escaped. That's what the tour is called, Escapate Conmigo. At the end of the day, we only got to escape to perform in Saginaw, Texas, and that's exactly Saginaw, Texas. In Saginaw, Michigan. We're
Yes, yes.
we're gonna we're gonna escape to just perform this one night for you guys, and it's again, you won't see it again. If you see us in 2026, 27, 28, 29, you won't see it. So you don't want to miss it. Make sure that you make plans to be with us. Get your tickets. We're also celebrating Cinco de Mayo, so we're gonna have an amazing time. I can't wait to be with you guys.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And from what I understand, the segments that you're having, it's almost like a kind of like a show where you're pulling aspects of your career in the last
Correct.
25 years. Yeah.
Yeah, like every song, like, for example, when we play Ya no me importa, we kind of play that era of the songs that surrounded the Ya no me importa album. And then there's a song where I get to play with my guitar, and I sing an acoustic song. I sing Mejor Dímelo. I tell people this is the way I wrote it. This is the way it sounded when I was in my house and I was by myself. And boom, I sing the song, and then the intro comes on again. And I don't want to give everything away, but you can basically see it on the internet.
Yeah.
And then we come and we play all the old school songs. Pero habla, mejor dímelo, traté de olvidarte, que no me busque, all the songs that have made Sino's journey. And you're right, like the very first albums, we had a cowboy hat, and we had the same matching shirt, because I felt that this was the only way that people were going to accept us. And then all of a sudden, the orange suits are just part of the show, it's just part of the act. You won't see them again for another 5 years. And but everything that we do, we sometimes do la otra tu when I put on the glasses, like the geek from the music video. That's myself, right? But yeah, you're right. Every aspect, or different years of Sino, you'll get to capture it in one night. So that's what we're going to be doing in Saginaw, Michigan.
How do you feel about 25 years? I know we talked about a little bit, but 25 years, does it, if you could say something to that Jesse Turner of 2020 who started Signo back then, 1999 to 2020, what would you say to him?
Uh, if I could tell him something, you want me to be honest?
Yeah. Yeah.
I think I would have told Jesse if I could give Jesse advice from back then, is uh, watch over your business, because I think that over the course of my years, I've had people do me really wrong, because I never. So here's the thing, right? For people that are watching, like, at the end of the day, everything is business. Even when it's fun, it's business. And if you don't get involved in your own business, and you just allow somebody else to run it, because back in the day, it was just fun. It was just like, let's get somewhere and let's just let's just have a good time. And you know, and I'm being super honest with you. Back in the days, a ver, con qué vamos a platicar y tráete esa para acá. Y yo quiero hablar, I want to talk to her, and I want to be friends. Where's the party at? That was the conversation. That was the conversation back then. And meanwhile, was acá gente behind closed doors where they were looking at numbers, and they were figuring out ways of, well, let's see how we can hide money. And that this is just the honest truth and the nature of the beast. So I would tell Jesse, sabes que you need to be real careful as you're coming up on this journey. I know you're going to enjoy it. You're going to have ups and downs, but whatever you do, look after your business, which is something that I've done here in the last 8 years. I've had to climb out of some really bad holes, and this is not just to say a story. No, it's the truth. But today, I mean, I'm perfectly fine today. People have always asked me if you could change one thing about your life, in the music career, and but you could change one thing about your life, it wouldn't even be about me. It would be about my son not being in his accident in 2016. So that would be the only thing I would change. Other than that, I would just let nature take its course, because I believe that in everything that I've gone through has helped me be the strong individual that I am today. Even through the hard lessons of the things that happened to me, it's helped me be a smarter individual in the sense of taking care of my business. You know, I wish I could have told him back there, but regardless, today son lecciones de la vida. They're lessons of life, and you just have to learn. And that's what life is about. You know, sometimes we'll be on the ground, but it is up to you. God has given you the opportunity to be able to tell yourself, get up, get up and fight. How long are you going to drag yourself to this floor? How long are you going to be at the bottom of the barrel? It is up to you, that tener las ganas, to want to get up and succeed and do something with your life. So this just doesn't pertain to business, it pertains to life as well. And
Yeah.
a lot of the songs that I've written over the course of the year have been just about that. Like Mejor Dímelo, a time in my life when I would sleep next to my girlfriend, and we would start sleeping with each other's back, her back against mine. And we both loved each other, but we were both more used to each other than actually, wanting to commit to marriage or wanting to be together. So it was, para qué seguir si tú ya no me quieres? That same girl, as time went by, she she left me for somebody else. She gave me an ultimatum. She said, "You either marry me or you don't." I said, "You know what? You go your way." We'll come to find out, she ends up marrying somebody else in a couple of months. So I wrote estúpida, estúpida, porque yo te quería, right? And then when we broke up, she went and told my friends that were her friends, and we would take turns going to the house. And I would never talk about her, but she was already married and happy, but she would still talk about me. So I said, ya no me importa.
Oh shoot, we lost him.
No, 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 I'm here. Hold on. Let me
Oh,
let me put
okay.
this.
Somebody
Let
was
me
probably
put
calling
this.
you in.
Yes, and I forgot to put it on do not disturb. Give me
Okay.
1 second. There you go.
Okay. You can't let us lose that moment. Go ahead.
So where was I? What was the last
You
thing
were
I said?
singing.
Oh, I was thinking, ya no me importa si estás con otro, que ya no soy ni tu amigo. She was never my wife, but I wrote the song as if she was my wife, right? And then I wrote other songs like about my past, about my there was a point in my life where I felt so low that I wanted to take my own life, that I wrote, traté de olvidarte y no te pude sacar de mi mente, me corté hasta las venas, era más fuerte por dentro el dolor, traté de olvidarte. I wrote songs like Mama. I was scared of losing my mom. I was scared of losing my mom so much that I wrote Mama. And I today my mom is still alive, gracias a Dios, thank God. My grandma's 107 years old, and I couldn't ask for more. And
Wow.
my song Mama is sung throughout schools in
Yeah.
the state of Texas for Mother's Day. So did I ever imagine that? No. I did I ever think that was coming? Absolutely not. But I'm grateful and I'm thankful to God for all the opportunities that are given to me. And again, that would be the only advice. I know that once you ask me one question, that like my mind explodes like this into 1,000 answers.
Hey,
But
that a good interview lets the interviewee speak, and that's what I'm trying to do. And I
thank you,
love your
Larry.
honesty. You're wearing your heart on your sleeve, and I think that what endears you to your fans. And it's a beautiful thing. And I got to ask you, your mom, you mentioned her in Mama. The song is probably one of your one of the biggest hits that you've had.
Mhm.
Um, a lot of Latino men have that special relationship with their mother. There's something about a Latino man and their mother, you know. And I was very close with my mother and had that special relationship, but not everybody has that. And I see it so strongly with you, and you know that it just inspires me because it's that love. And if you know, you know that
Yeah.
love that you have with a mother like that. And so I'm glad to hear that she's doing well. She's still with
Well,
us, and to have a grandmother, 107, man, that's incredible.
yeah, but you know
Uh,
what? But it's weird because my grandma, she tells me, ask God to take me already because, and I understand her. And you
yeah,
know what? It was through my grandma because I always, a lot of us Latinos think this way. We think the day that my mom leaves is the day that I'm gonna leave too. That we all think like that. We all have those crazy thoughts. I'm gonna take my life the day my mom leaves. For a long time, I carried those thoughts with me, and I'm just being super transparent with you. But you know what changed me? You know what made me change my mind? I was thinking like that for the longest time until like about 5 years ago, or maybe 6 years ago, when my grandma turned 101. When my grandma turned 100, she turned 101, my grandma started saying things like, I don't know why God has kept me alive for this long. 2000, I mean, she was 102. Again, my grandma, look, the only thing she would complain about is why she's still alive. Today, and that she's 107, she's, I mean, she's not in the greatest condition. And it made me understand. So I was in the airplane with my mom, and on our flight back on our flight back to home, I told my mom, and I looked at her and said, Mom, I go, do you want to live to be 107? And she said, oh my God. And she goes, no. She goes, I don't want to suffer like my mom.
mm,
And it gave me the answer that I needed without even looking for it. God gave me the answer. He said, you see, if you wanted your mom to live that long, you would be watching your mom suffer as much as your grandma, because my grandma suffers. She's so delgadita. She could barely see. She could barely hear. And for the last 7 years, all she's been saying is, tell God to come for me. So, we got to be careful with what we ask for. We can't be selfish.
yeah,
Sometimes for those of you that are watching, they're saying, well, you know what? I didn't have a good relationship with my mom, and me and her fought all the time. Okay, that I get it. But one day you're going to be a father, and you're going to have a wife, and that wife is going to be the mother of your children. And
yeah,
you're going to have to love her like if you would love your mom. You're going to have to look at her and say, wow, this is the mother like that I didn't get to have, and I'm going to help her mold to be the mother that I never had. So you need to be inspired, you need to be motivated, and you can't just live in the past. We also have to learn how to forgive and be able to say, you know what, Mom, I forgive you. Life isn't forever. Even though we base time on the way the earth revolves, and that's it. But time is really relevant outside of the universe. They don't measure time the way we do here. But, you know, en una cerrada de ojos, in the blink of an eye, we're gone, and
yeah,
you'll never have that chance to fix things or to say how much you love them. So, mama is just another reminder of, make sure you tell your mom how much you love her, how much she means to you, and take her out to eat, call her, check up on her. And I'm blessed. Today, if you ask me, what if your mom were to, que Dios no quiera que venga por ella Dios mañana, if God were to come for her tomorrow, I I understand today. I've come to agreement with God. Like, okay, I know what life is about, and I wouldn't want my mom to suffer, or anybody's mom to suffer.
yeah, yeah. Well, that's beautifully said, Jesse. And I had my producer. We had the song "Mama" that we were going to play, but there was something. We had some technical difficulty. So if you could just share a little bit of that song, because I know that that's one of the favorites of many of your fans.
Yeah, I mean, I normally don't do this, but you know what? Give me like about count to 10. Ready, go.
10, 9, 8,
Oh my
7,
God, you're gonna catch in
6,
my shorts.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. Jesse Turner, everybody, gonna sing Mama.
Mamá, gracias por todos los besos por la mañana. Por todos los sana, sana colita de rana. Hoy cumplo 5 años, te amo tanto, pedacito de pan tostado. Mamá, hoy me di cuenta que el amor se convierte en dolor. Y aunque ella no me quiera, tú me vas a querer. Cumplo 15 años, te amo tanto. Gracias por ser mi amiga. Madre, y eres todo en mi vida, te amo con toda el alma. Mi regalo del cielo eres tú, tan hermosa. Que Dios te cuide y te bendiga siempre. Madre, te amo con toda la fuerza que hay en mi vida. Mi razón para luchar todos los días. Desde lo más profundo de mi corazón. Gracias, pedacito de pan tostado. Oh.
Wow, bravo, beautiful. Your tone and your delivery, man. That's that voice. It gets me all emotional here too. I lost my mom 22 years ago, so I've gone through the gamut through the years. And you're right. It takes you to know life and experience life to understand, the circle of life. And so,
Well, you know what? I always tell people because you might think your mom is buried at a cemetery, but she's not. She's buried in your heart and she's buried in your thoughts.
yes. Yeah, that's what the last thing she told me was I'll always be in your heart. So,
Yeah.
wow, I can't believe already 24 minutes that went like that. So, we're going to go into commercial. And while we do that, we're going to read some of the comments that we have in the chat room. So,
Absolutely.
we'll be right back with Mi Gente on air. All right. Well, thank you for joining us here tonight. We got a lot of people in the room, and we're got a lot of comments. And one of the first ones is from Val Blanco. She says, "You're making us all miss our mothers."
Uh,
So yeah, it's so true. Everything you said, though, Jesse, in regards to they are in our hearts, and that's where we carry them. And that was a beautiful thing to say. And there's a comment here from Sylvia Campos. She says, well, I'm not going to say the bad word, but she says, heck yeah, it's going to be a good show with Signo and Palomino's May 3rd at the Sordigo. And Gary Jimenez, he's from Lubbock, Texas. He's watching the show. He's originally from Saginaw, says, mamas know us more than we do. I agree with that. And also, Gary says, you're making him tear up. You're making a grown man cry. And Olivia McAloo, she's from the Flint area here.
wow.
She's saying awesome, and she's looking forward to the show as well. Beautiful. And Angela Blanco, she says, wow, she says, me too, Gary Jimenez. We all feel this, and I miss my mom. So, yeah, that was so beautiful, Jesse. And just to my audience, I want to let them know it wasn't something that we planned for him to sing a cappella like that. And my producer was upset that he couldn't get that file to work, but it worked out for the best. So, that's really nice that we have that. Joanne Vasquez says it would be nice if you could drop by and see what Mi Gente does to celebrate Saginaw Cinco, doing it big. So, yeah, that's one of the things that, I mentioned in the beginning of the show. It's really nice that the Unión Cívica Mexicana is teaming up again with the Sornigo Casino like we did prior to COVID. It was COVID that actually, kind of messed that relationship up with everything that was shut down for 2 years. And then we came back in 2022, and now we're in 2025, and we're just building that up again. And so it was a real pleasure to have Signo as the headliners, and then I was asked, well, who could be the other artists that would perform, and it just clicked right in my head, Los Palominos, right away. So Jesse, I know that you got a connection with them. You did a duet with them as well. So we're going to talk about that when we go into the back into the show, because we can't be here on the live stream too long. So are we ready, Matt? All right, we're going to go back into Mi Gente on Air.
This is Mi Gente on Air on WSGW.
Welcome back. Welcome back. I am your host, Larry Rodarte, and I am so happy and excited to have the special guest that we have here in the room, Jesse Turner from the Grupo Signo, and they're going to be performing at the Soaring Eagle Casino with Los Palominos on May 3rd, celebrating the 46th annual Cinco de Mayo of the Great Lakes Bay region in Saginaw. So we're real excited about that. And Jesse, how do you feel about coming back to Michigan? And what do you think of when you think of fans in the Midwest?
Well, it's amazing how far our music has traveled. It's I mean, those are the accomplishments that we live for, right? Those are the unexpected gifts God gives us, and all we can do is just say, "Wow, our music made it all the way to Michigan." I mean, even though we've been doing this for 20 years, 25 years, you got to understand that I'm still a kid inside. I still dream big. We still carry like a big production. We still do the best of the best. I'm excited. I'm really excited to go back to Michigan. And I'm always excited whenever they say you're going to come into the Illinois, Michigan, uh, Ohio, and you're going to come back to different states. I'm always looking forward to it. And to me, I find it incredible when people see us for the first time and they haven't seen us in years. It's such an amazing feeling to be able to say hello and te ven con unos ojos de amor, because I guess they've seen us so much on Facebook and on social media, and they've been with us through our journey, but they haven't had a chance to go to a show. And here they are. They're finally able to see us at a good location, which is a Soaring Eagle Casino. So we want to invite everybody out so you won't miss this opportunity to see our 25th celebration concert series show. And there's a lot of things going on, man. I mean, on April 25th, here we're just a few days away. We have a new single dropping, but right now we've been promoting. We got nothing but good music coming. Like, we went back to Freddie Records,
Yes.
and we wanted to capture the old sound of Grupo Signo, and we did just that. Not only did we capture the sound, but I was able to sit down and start writing my own music once again. And I don't know. I guess I just needed to be surrounded around that atmosphere. I needed to have that atmosphere for me to feel comfortable enough to, gain the confidence of being able to write again. Because I was a little bit away from it for a while, and we were
Mm-hmm.
doing a lot of covers. And then I realized, you know what? I don't know why I'm doing covers. If what made us is what helped us pick up was the songs that I was writing. So then I started songwriting again, and I started paying attention to the messages that God would send me, because I have friends that go through emotions, and based on their emotions I write. I watched as Si Me Ves Cantando is our latest single right now, right?
We're
So
gonna play that. I want my producer to play that because it's a beautiful song, and this is the new release that was released last month.
Es que por dentro tú me estás matando. Sabes que no puedo olvidarte, aunque pueda besar y tener a quien yo quiera, porque mi corazón se quedó contigo y el vacío que hay en mí no se puede resistir, porque tú me enseñaste a querer y también me dejaste por él. Si me ves cantando con ojos cerrados, no me olvido todo lo que fue.
So you see me singing again. Tell us a little bit about that because that sounds great.
Yeah, you know what? I think I always write in a double standard way, in with a double meaning, right? Like I always do that. I always write with two meanings behind it. One is how can I write something new, and how can I write something that's real? And to me, uh, I see a lot of musician friends, right? And once we get off that stage, it's like I hear all the problems that they have. I see all the emotions that they're going through. And as soon as I saw that and I heard it for myself, I began to write. But I began to write for a girl. But in reality, I was really just writing overall my struggle. And my struggle has really been, the accepting of my son's accident. For people who don't know, my son crashed when he was 21 years old, and it left him severely brain damage from the left side of his brain. Today, he doesn't know who I am. He lays in a bed. He doesn't really know much. He's just in a, I don't want to say in a vegetative state, but it's something like that. He really doesn't. There's no real sign that he knows who I am. He can't tell you yes or no. So it's a very complicated situation. But where I'm going with that is sometimes you see us behind that microphone just the way you are, and people see us smiling and they see us singing and projecting all these feelings. But behind closed doors, behind that mic, I wish you knew how much I was really hurting. I went back and I related to the year 2016. I had to get on tour. I didn't have a choice. Like the bills were not stopping, and I had to tour even though my son was in the hospital and was going through life and death. And when I started singing, it was so painful to do it. But I would get up on stage and I would smile, and it was like this was my it was like a mask that I had to put on. And it's not because I wanted to, it's because I couldn't allow people to see me broken and down, but it was hard. So it was easy for me to write this song, talking about a girl, because I've seen musicians, right? This song says, "Sabes, que no puedo olvidarte, that I can't forget you. Even though I can have and kiss whoever I want, I can. I don't mean that in a bad way, but there's a lot of people they can have whoever they want, whoever they choose. But in my heart, I choose you. Pero mi corazón se quedó contigo. It stayed with you. Y el vacío que hay en mí, and the emptiness that's inside of me is just taking over me. It's because you showed me how to love, uh, but you also showed me how to hurt. And even though you see me singing today, I just want you to know that if you see me singing, I want you to know that through the inside, I'm actually dying. And if you see me singing, I want you to understand that even though you see me smiling up here and everything, I want you to know that through the inside, it's like if I'm crying, kind of like estoy viendo, right? And if you see me singing, I want you to know that in every single note, I'm missing you. And if you see me singing, perhaps it's because I haven't forgotten you. Entre los aplausos, with all the people clapping, sometimes I get lost, but yet I can't seem to forget you. So if you see me singing, just don't forget that I'm also human.
Wow. Yeah, you're killing us, man. You are killing us. What a great interview. What a great interview. And, I really want to encourage everybody out there who's listening to the show tonight. If you haven't bought your tickets, man, it's going to be an incredible show with Jesse Turner and Signo, as well
Mhm.
as Los Palominos at the Soaring Eagle Casino, May the 3rd, 2025, and we can really celebrate a beautiful Cinco de Mayo, especially in the times we're living. It's time for us to really celebrate who we are and our contributions to the United States of America. So, you
And
know,
not only not sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you, Larry, but we'll be doing something special for mothers because we're just days away from Mother's Day. So we'll be make sure that you invite your moms, your wives. We'll be celebrating Mother's Day as well because it's the Cinco de Mayo, but just a few more days and it'll be Del Diez de Mayo, which is Mother's Day.
yeah, yeah, it's like less than a week, I think, from that time. So, Yeah, I really feel that it's going to be a big turnout out there at the Soaring Eagle because as as we said earlier, it's been 11 years since you were there, and I remember when you guys performed, and you guys were in that rocker stage of wearing the rocker clothes and all, and you had a lineup so long from the back of the stage of the Soaring Eagle all the way up to the merchandise table, and some of the girls from the Union Cívica Mexicana were there. Christy Lopez, Berta Jimenez, I remember them.
Mhm.
And I know that they're excited to see you as well coming May 3rd. So thank you for coming back to Michigan and being with us to share that talent. I want to ask because we didn't get to talk a little bit about, as I had mentioned, I have a lot of non-Latino listeners, and I just want to go back and just tell us. You said where you were from and all, but when did you realize that you had such a gift? Because you definitely have a gift in writing, in singing. You're truly an awesome entertainer. Just tell us a little bit about the beginning years, because you did also mention Los Palominos and Ray Vela and who, not Ray Vela, no,
Remember, remember.
Ruben Vela. I got a guy who was the president of the Civica who was named Ray Vela. That's why I got
Yeah.
confused there. But yeah, tell us a little bit about your beginnings.
Well, I mean, look, Larry, please forgive me if people are gonna misunderstand what I say, but I don't think I'm anything special. I think that God has just given everybody different roles in life. Your job is to be behind that microphone and give a great interview, just like my job is to just entertain, but I'm human just like each and every single one of you. I don't believe in fame, even though sometimes we have to play the part because sometimes think, well, then why do you hide, or why don't you just allow people to run it? Because sometimes we have to play the part where you have to make a line to take a picture. We have to do this because I've always said, if you treat me like a friend, I'll be your friend. If you sometimes, if we sometimes have to bring down the tone, I to bring it down a bit because I'm very accessible. If you allow me to be accessible, if you make a lot of noise and then it becomes a little bit chaotic and I can't control that. Now we need people involved in order to be able to take pictures and do all these things. But my beginnings are really, they're just based on opportunity. I can easily tell you that I'm not the greatest accordion player. I'm not the greatest songwriter, but I will tell you that God has given me the ability to be able to express myself freely, musically and lyrically. And with that being said, when I was a kid, I liked playing the pots and pans, and I played in my church. When I was at church, they bought me my first drum set. You see what I mean? Like God always provides, and they bought me my first Muppet baby drum set, and I tore that apart. And then they bought me a real drum set, and that lasted a while because it was different pieces of drums. And they bought me another drum, and then they bought me a guitar. Then I started playing guitar. Then I picked up the accordion one day at a church, and I started playing with a band that had a talent show. And then I played with Ruben Bella for a couple of years. And through Ruben Bella, I told him, "Hey, I have this song that I wrote for my girlfriend, which were just poems. They were poems, and they were little love notes, like está lloviendo, en pero háblame, like these little love notes. Se espera mis labios para besarte, para amarte, para decirte que te quiero." All these little poems became songs. And then through being I've learned that through just being real and being honest, it opens more doors than being a musician that knows a lot. You could be a great accordion player, you could be a great musician, but if you don't know how to be humble and if you don't know how to shake people's hands and sell yourself as an individual, and not so much sell yourself, how do you sell yourself? By being real and by not lying. That's what you're really that's what really opens doors. And I think that I've opened up a lot of doors throughout my career. I've closed a lot of doors on people that did me wrong, but a lot of doors have always opened. Like for example, like this coming Cinco de Mayo, the door is open after it's been shut for 11 years to come back to the, not that it was closed, it's just that it's called an opportunity. The opportunity is there once again for Sino to come back to the Soaring Eagle Casino up in Saginaw, Michigan. And we're excited, man. We're all we can do is just say thank you to life, Thank you to everybody that makes this possible, everybody in the committee, everybody that said, "Hey, we want Signo and Palominos." And how did Palominos play a part in my life? Well, when I was in art class, I heard the song of "Es que tú no sabes amar, no sabes querer como te quiero yo," and then I became a fan of the "Me estoy enamorando de ti otra vez." The very first album. That's actually their second album, but their first album, they'll say that it was the blue one, and it was
Hmm.
called Del Norte al Sur. And then I was so pumped up because I thought they were the most amazing thing in the world, the most amazing band. I was a loyal fan. I still am to this day. You don't understand the honor it is for me to share the stage with Los Palominos. Not
Wow.
only are they great human beings, but they are, I can say, literally, they're literally my very good friends, my inspiration to be able to share the stage with them. It's an honor. Um, and then they came out with Corazón de Cristal, Regresa Amor, La Llama. I mean, you name it, they have hit after hit after hit, and I was just all I could do was just be inspired. And then one day I met Signo, and when I met Signo, I got to talk to one of the Ariola brothers, which is Johnny, and he sang the second vocals on Traté de Olvidarte, Estúpida, and I believe he did segundas on and he did the accordion on La Otra too, I believe. So there's a lot of history behind Signo and Palominos, and we also did Canciones para la Esperanza. We did a song together. We did Ya Te Vi.
Yep.
Ya Te Vi, Ya Te. We did that song, but we also did other songs. We did Yo Te Seguiré. Uh, so again, I mean, it's an honor to be able to share the stage with Palominos, and for you guys to be able to capture two different moments in time, but yet they are still fresh. Like we come from Freddie Records. Their music is still going strong, and I would highly recommend for everybody to come out and don't miss this once in a lifetime opportunity. We hardly play with Palominos. We'll play with Palominos once or twice every 2 years, and this is one of them. So you
Wow.
can't miss this.
All right. All right. Well, April 25th, a new song is coming out
Mhm.
with Aaron Watson. You're going country. Uh,
Going
tell,
country.
tell me a little bit about that because that's just awesome that you're sharing that talent with a whole nother genre.
Well, for people that don't know, Aaron Watson is a very well-known country artist. He's more of a Texas country, but he's also the very first country artist to. He's the first to hit number one album sales on Billboard and hit number one and be an independent under his own record label. He's the only one that's done it. Other people have tried, but he's the only one that's done it. So he has songs like uh, oh my God, he's got so many of them. He's got uh, what's it called? I can't think right now. My mind just went blank.
Yeah. Well,
Um,
the song you're going to be singing is Amarillo by Morning.
what's
And
Amarillo?
what did I say?
Amarillo.
Oh my God.
You're thinking in Spanish and thinking in
Yeah.
English at the
Yeah.
same time.
You're confusing me.
Yeah, and I have.
Yeah. But
It's this one right here. It's
it's got to be exciting for you,
Amarillo
though.
by morning,
Yeah. 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 Sing that for
up
us.
from San Antonio, and everything that I've got is just what I've got on.
Wow.
When that sun is high in the Texas sky, I accept. What's different about it is that it took my saddle in Houston, broke my leg in Santa Fe. It's a cumbia. Lost my wife and a girlfriend somewhere along the way. And that's what's coming out this April 25th. I want to invite you, friends. If you really want to support music, this is completely free. All you got to do is go to Spotify and pre-save the song. Say it's coming out April, it's coming out April 25th. Just we're just like what 9 days away. And on iTunes, if you can purchase it for like $1.29, you can pre-order it right now on iTunes. Go on there, pre-order it. You don't understand how much help that would give us. I actually think I've been talking to a lot of people. I really think that we're gonna hit Billboard like right off the bat. And maybe I'm saying it because I want it to happen. And whenever I confess it, it usually happens. And I strongly believe in this song. It's called a country cumbia, a Tejano country cumbia.
Well, let's claim it for you too, because I think it is going to be a good hit. I saw the little promo on Facebook. But speaking of duets, I do because we are big fans here of Elida and Ivante, and she was at our Cinco de Mayo last year. I do want to play for those who love the duet that you did with her. My producer Matt, if you could play that one real quick, and then I just want to hear your comments about it.
Te acostumbraste a tu forma de amar. Sin tus caricias, vida, nada es igual para mí. Contigo hasta morir. Siento que muero cuando no estás aquí. Mi alma se quiebra, no puedo resistir.
It's a very beautiful song, man.
Yeah.
A very beautiful friend of mine. You know, when I was talking to you about Los Palominos, you know who was opening up for Los Palominos?
Elida.
Elida Reina was opening up for Los Palominos. And then getting to go, wanting to go watch Los Palominos, I learned who Elida Reina was. And at the age of 14, I have a picture with her.
Wow.
I have a picture as a 14-year-old, and she was older than me. And I'm hugging her. I'm all little, and I always tell her about it, and I tell her, man, it's been such an amazing journey. I'm so proud of everything she's done and all her contribution to Tejano music.
Yes.
But you know, there comes a point where some people want a change in their lives, and I I see. I don't think that show, in my humble opinion, right? I don't really know anything that somebody else knows, but I'm thinking that she'll still do like maybe a show once a year or twice a year. But uh, I had a great opportunity to do Juntos Hasta Morir with her. It was
Yes.
written by my good friend Lucky Joe. So all I can do is just say, man, what a blessing. What an honor.
Wow. Wow. Well, it's been an honor for me to have you here on my show, Mi Gente on Air. And it went so fast, I knew it would. But thank you for being with us here tonight. And we so look forward to the concert May 3rd at the Soaring Eagle Casino. Jesse Turner and Grupo Signo, along with Los Palominos. So everybody get their tickets because it's coming up real quick. And we just want to thank you for being having the contributions that you have had in the music industry. Thank you so much, Jesse Turner, for being.
No, thank each and every single one of you that made this possible for people like me and all the other artists. God bless you, and we'll see you in a couple of weeks up in Saginaw, Michigan at the Soaring Casino Eagle. God bless you. Thank you, Larry. It's been an honor talking to you. Fuerte abrazo.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
I'm going to make you laugh real quick. I'm still a teenager. Look at that. I'm still having pimples, and I'm having to put pimple patches on my forehead.
Okay, we're back. Jesse, you're still with us on the Facebook live stream. Sorry about that. Go ahead, say what you're going to say because
I said, we'll see you guys soon. Un fuerte abrazo. Thank you for having me. Right, because we're done.
Nope, we're still talking. We're still on live stream.
Oh, we're still on live stream. Oh,
Yeah,
never mind. Yeah.
Well,
never mind.
Well, I want to just read some of the comments because Pauline Cap, she's saying, I'm looking forward to this concert. I'll be attending the concert with my tío Carne Guerra.
Oh, wow. Yeah, he's the owner of Casablanca in Laredo, Texas.
Yeah. She's that's her uncle, and she's very proud of all what he's done down there. And her cousin Belinda, I don't know if you know Belinda.
She's one of my best friends.
Really? Wow, that's great.
She's the owner of Z93 and Casablanca Ballroom in Laredo, Texas.
Wow. That's awesome.
Actually, it's Carney. Carney's the owner, but his daughters, Belinda, Elaine, Brittany, everybody, all the Guerra family, they're up in Laredo, Texas, and they own the radio station Z93, and they also own a couple of radio stations there. But they're very, very good friends of ours as well.
Well, Pauline's my cousin. Her mother was Lucy Guerra, who was the sister.
Okay.
So yeah, we got those.
Saludos a todos.
Yeah, and also Matt Maya, from Michigan. He's a roadie with the Signo now.
Oh, I forgot that he was from up there.
Yeah, he's from Michigan. And
him and Aaron Holler, right?
Yeah, Aaron Holler too, the drummer. Yes.
That's right.
I just want to read one here. It says, got a chance to interview Jesse a long time ago with Frank Medell when we were at WKUF in Flint, and saw him at a small restaurant in San Antonio the morning after his performance at Fanfare. So I'm glad Adam, pays tribute to my cousin Frank Medell. We lost him a few years, but he was a great DJ in the area, and he got to interview you as well. So, man, there's a lot of comments. You guys, I can't read through all these. Some of them are really long. I remember watching Jesse on PNS when he first started his band. They would do shows at high schools, and that's from Vanessa Salazar.
It's PBS.
Oh, she put PNS. Oh,
No,
yeah. Thanks a
it's
lot, Vanessa.
PBS.
Yeah, she's from Pontiac, Michigan.
Oh wow!
And her
Yeah.
husband is with Grupo Ilusión, and he's going to be there at the Cinco de Mayo as well. So there's just,
Awesome.
we are so blessed in this area because we are at Tejano Town, and along with Lansing and Flint area, Pontiac. We have had some amazing artists come through in the last 5 years, and Signo and Los Palominos is going to be wonderful to have in our area to celebrate Cinco de Mayo. And we also have AJ Castillo, who will be with us on the weekend, but not at the Soaring Eagle, but at another event. So, I mean, there's going to be a lot happening in terms of Conjunto Tejano in the Saginaw area. And Matt Maya Sr., he's saying, I'm thankful for the opportunity to be a part of the Signo family. So,
That's awesome. That's
but
cool.
yeah, so thank you, Jesse, again. I don't want to hold you up anymore, but it was a wonderful interview. I love the acapella. I love how you wore your heart on your sleeve, and I think that's what really endears you to the fans, and why you're going to have continued success, I know. So we wish you the best always, and we look forward to the show here at the Soaring Eagle Casino. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Larry. Saludos para ti, para todos. Thank you for connecting and for joining us on this evening. Hope to see you in a couple of weeks. And thank you. Without you guys, Casino wouldn't exist. So
All
we'll be
right.
celebrating 25 years at the Soaring Eagle Casino, April 5th. Get your tickets as soon as possible, amigos. Ahí nos vemos. Un fuerte abrazo desde el mágico Valle de Texas, from the Rio Grande Valley, all the way to Saginaw, Michigan, and Flint, Michigan, to all the areas where you're watching this. Saludos, bendiciones. God bless you. We'll see you soon.
Adios. All right. See you next week, everybody. Take care.
Thank you, brother.